So today we are once again on South Temple. Pretty amazing street, actually. I never realized before doing the Cool Stuff series how many historic buildings are right here in the heart of downtown Salt Lake City. Today, we are at the Salt Lake Masonic Temple. In 1927, Egypt was all the rage, right? They had just found King Tut's tomb. The pyramids were all over the headlines. And so Egypt and Egyptian culture was the fad du jour. Break it down like a fraction for you. Freemasonry, a fraternal organization, one of, if not the oldest in the world, dating back to the 13th century. George Washington, Winston Churchill, Benjamin Franklin, Louis Armstrong, Henry Ford, John Wayne, maybe Mr. T? No, probably not Mr. T. Just some of the famous cats who are also members of the Freemasons. Started in 1926, finished in 1927, which even by today's standards is pretty impressive for a building this size. I swear, they've been building a McDonald's by my house. They've been working on that building for like 3 years. We're going in the back entrance of the Masonic Temple of Salt Lake City. Monty Anderson's going to be our guide today. He has kindly invited us in.
Most of the original offices were vacated to make room for the Scottish Rite Care charity.
So the Shriners, they have the hospitals and they drive those little cars and they wear the cool hats.
Yep, the Fez.
So fewer members now than in the past.
Everything's declining. The Elks, the Moose, the Oddfellows. I bet if you looked at Harley owners groups, yacht clubs, motorcycle clubs, snowmobile clubs, everything's kind of declining.
It's because we're all in Facebook groups now.
I think so, yeah.
My Dungeons and Dragons group just folded. Backstage of the auditorium, this right here is all original. This is the original lighting system for the stage from 1927. What an incredible piece of history. It is virtually untouched. This looks exactly how it would have looked almost 100 years ago. And it is in pristine condition. It looks brand new. So amazing. I just want to touch everything, but I won't. I promised them if I came in the cage that I wouldn't touch anything. It's hard to believe that this is just right here in Salt Lake City, and so many people have never seen it, right? I'm standing in a room that is 94 years old. The stage here is mostly original. The backdrops here are all above me. They still work on the old rope and pulley system, like you'd see in an old Bugs Bunny cartoon. These are all the original backdrops, hand-painted by a guy named Thomas Moses, very famous artist. And they are actually not only original to the building, but they were in the previous Masonic Temple here in Utah and predate this building. Trying to play with one of these. So you just pull this guy out.
Yep.
Well, that's not that heavy.
No, they're pretty well counterbalanced.
You hear all the time about how people in the 21st century are bigger than they were at the beginning of the 20th century. I'm sitting, and I'm not a big guy. Like, I'm tall, but I'm not overly large. This is a tight fit for me.
One in the West.
This is why I can't hold positions of authority. Even in a fraternal order of something, I would immediately let that power go to my head.
This one's called the Colonial Room. The legend is, and I say legend simply because I don't know for sure, but the reason that looks like a porch is the master wears a hat.
Okay.
And the belief was that in the colonial period, a master would never wear a hat inside, so they designed it to look like a porch.
You gotta trick them. How could there be any more space in this building? But a couple of cool things about this room, especially, is the neon sign they've got up there. So that is neon. Don't see a lot of neon in the building. In fact, that's the only neon I've seen, but that is actually original to the building. 1927, believed to be the first neon in the state of Utah.
He chose poorly.
Indeed. We've got all sorts of hats. There's one thing I've learned about fraternal orders and secret societies is their affinity for hats. This is the hat collection.
It is.
And then they've got like fancy cases and stuff like that. Wow. We need this in radio. We need like special hats.
That is what we call
put a hat on?
Knights Templar Chapeau. Of course, we do it 4.5.
Oh, okay. They're like Captain Crunch.
You look like Captain.
Yeah. Can I wear that one?
Yeah.
Cool. Can I kind of make it jaunty? Is that all right? Can you do that? Still be within regulation? They're like, oh, Jon Smith's coming. Better lock up the swords. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah! Yeah, we're finding these random odds and ends. This is such a time capsule. So these are from the 1940s. So the Shriners Band would go on tour. You know, planes were not a big thing for travel yet, so they'd go by rail. So we've got a lot of the original luggage tags. Air travel, we've got Western Airlines over here. Well, that is a cool stuff first. A ladder that I myself will not go up. I'd need a harness or something. I don't trust myself to go that high.
A few inches later.
Well, we've made it to the roof. This has been an incredible day. Man, what a cool time capsule. So much, not just history from a building that's 100 years old, but even more recent history, which has just kind of been left untouched since the 1950s and 60s. My big thanks to Monty and Dave for letting us run amok in the temple today, which has definitely been surreal, dude. Man, what a cool day. So make sure you comment below what you want to see on cool stuff in Utah, like and subscribe to it, and we'll see you next time. Okay, how do I get down?